Hey, Robin Robbins here, founder of technologymarketingtoolkit.com with another video blog for you. And this blog is sort of themed around Christmas. Obviously, we're about a week away from Christmas when I'm filming this anyway. And I wanted to do something around the 12 months of marketing, sort of themed after the 12 days of Christmas. And so along with this video, there is a document that you could download, 12 months of marketing. So I would suggest you download this and kind of follow along in the video. I'm going to go through this rather quickly. When you're thinking about running or doing a marketing campaign or building a marketing system, or even this time of year, you're probably thinking about, your next year's marketing plan and what are we going to do to make sure that we hit our goals or keep growing and so forth. And a lot of people have the question of, well, where do I start? And so what I wanted to do in this video is give you these 12 months of marketing and give you 12 steps, 12 things you can do in the order in which I would do them if I were in your shoes or that I have done them to generate more clients, not only more clients, but better quality clients as well. So the first thing on the list is to pick a lucrative target market to focus on. And so many IT firms, so many companies in general, not just IT firms, but so many companies in general cannot articulate who their ideal prospect is. So when they're selling IT services, they'll say something like, well, anybody who's got from 10 to 100 computers that's within a 20-mile drive of our office, or something to that effect. That is not a target market. That is a wish. That is a huge target market. And in most cases, the reason that doesn't make any sense is because, well, first of all, the CEO of a company that has 10 users is an entirely different animal than the CEO of a company that has 100 users. And then you've got the nuances in niches. So a medical practice is going to have a lot different needs and is going to have even different regulations that they have to follow when it comes to IT and communications than, say, if we were just talking to a manufacturer or a nonprofit or a legal firm. So one of the first things I'd encourage you to do and get right in your marketing is to pick a single target market that you can focus on. Now, I'm not saying that you can't serve multiple markets and be successful. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes your target market could be niche and vertical specific, like industry specific, like banks or small medical practices or whatever. And in some cases, it might be more of the characteristics of the company. So it might be more like along the lines of 15 to maybe 50 PCs in a fast growth business to business service firm. So there might be some other characteristics, but what's really important for you is to identify who that single target market is, because if you're going to write websites, if you're going to be doing any kind of marketing, if you're going to hire salespeople, you got to know who you want to go after. So that's number one. And if you don't have that figured out, all of your marketing is going to really suffer. It's going to be difficult to select the media and put a plan together. Second, which is really close behind it, is to have a compelling marketing message as to why your target market should buy from you. Now, a lot of people struggle with this because once you know who your target market is, then can you articulate why that prospect should buy from you versus all the other options they have available to them, all the other competitors. They have the options of maybe hiring someone and bringing it in-house or even doing nothing. So you've got to really think about, why should somebody buy from me? And as you can see, I've put on this document, if you find that you can't articulate this because you really truly don't have anything unique or advantageous or extra beneficial to your prospects for doing business with you versus all the other competitors, then you have to go to work on your business and you've got to innovate and you've got to improve your service offering. And that way in your marketing, you're giving truthful reasons why somebody should buy from you over the competition. And if you've got salespeople, or even if you're the CEO and you've got technicians, have them all sit in a room and ask them that question. Say, I'm going to be a prospect and I want you to tell me in your own words, or maybe have them write it down so they can't collaborate. Why should somebody buy from us? And see if they can answer it for you, or see if your salespeople can even articulate it. If they can't, you really need to work on this. I mean, if you, the CEO, can't articulate it, you really need to work on that. So that's extremely important. That's why it's number 2. And the only reason it's number 2 after target market is because why someone should hire you often is related to the target market. So you might specialize in working with small medical practices, or maybe you specialize in working with attorneys' offices and you understand their business and their billing and the line of business applications they use, and so forth and so on. So that would be number 2. Number 3 is you got to offer solid proof to back up the claims that you're making in your marketing and advertising. Folks, we live in a hugely skeptical world, and anything you say about your company, about how great you are and how friendly and professional your technicians are, how responsive you are, and how proactive you are with managed services, or better you are than the competition. Here's the reality. People don't believe that, because we live in a world where people lie all the time. Politicians, even trusted figures of the church and our media. There's so many scams out there that, of course, people are very skeptical, and they're even more skeptical because you're trying to sell them something. So they're, everything you say is got that sort of, what's hanging over it is that skepticism. So the one way to really overcome that is to use things like client testimonials, case studies, guarantees, even statistics if you've got them, obviously truthful ones, to validate any kind of claim you're making in your marketing or on your website. So if you really are more proactive, if you really are better than the competition, prove it. Number 4, make sure your website sells and isn't just a boring menu of what you do. Most IT service firms, their website basically says we do proactive 24/7 monitoring, maintenance, backup, cloud solutions. Essentially what it is a dynamic business card. It just has a menu of services and a phone number. Now, how do you know if your website is actually selling you and convincing people they should call you? Well, look at the conversion. Think about it. I mean, first of all, can you track it? So in other words, can you track what leads are coming from your website? If you can't, start there, because you can't improve what you can't measure, first off, right? So do that. Then figure out, is this website producing anything? Are people going to this website? Are they calling us? Are they filling in a form and wanting to contact us? And what percentage is that? You'll find if you look at it, and I can tell you from experience, most IT services websites are converting at less than 1%. So less than 1% of the people who come to that website are actually picking up the phone and calling you or filling in a form. So if your website is not generating the results that you want, it could be that it's not converting properly, it's not selling you, and your website is the hub of all other marketing, even referrals. Because the first thing everybody does when they hear about a company is they go check them out online. And so even people being referred to you are going to your website to see what you're about. And again, it's got to build credibility, it's got to build trust, it's got to say what you do and who you do it for, but it's got to do it in a way that really, truly sells your company. Number 5 is you want to implement a referral system for gathering referrals, for following up on those referrals, and then even rewarding people who give you the referrals. And to quote Edwards Deming, which is one of my favorite quotes, is if you can't describe what you're doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing. So if you know, you and I both know referrals are like the best lead source of all. I mean, these people come to you, they trust you automatically because they're being referred to you, and they're so easy to close, and they're great. But the question is, what are you doing to fuel them? Are you just kind of waiting for them to show up, or are you doing things to actually fuel those referrals, to ask for them? And it could be anything from just simply, like I was saying, asking for them, to running referral contests, to having some sort of a compensation or referral getting sort of reward system that you might have. It could even be a system where you're using LinkedIn and or maybe running client appreciation events, seminars, those kinds of things, to draw your customers in and help them draw other people to you. Number 6, you want to develop a professional sales process. Again, there's that word, process, or just like system, that builds value, that overcomes objections and closes the sale. Look at folks, if you're going to be going on sales calls, you don't want to just go out there and show up and throw up and just kind of wing it. You want to have a process down. And if you're just going on sales calls and winging it, I promise you, you're probably not closing very many of the deals that you're going on. Again, industry average for IT service professionals, they only close about 25% of the appointments they go on. That's average, okay? Now, some people say, oh, I'm closing 90%, and that's because they're only getting referrals, so they're not getting anything but the lowest hanging fruit. When you go out and you start doing marketing, you're going to have to develop a really good sales process, because your sales process is the first experience those prospects are going to have in interacting with you. And so your sales process has to be an example of what it's going to be like to do business with you, because you're selling a service which is intangible. I can't see it, I can't touch it, I can't hold it in my hands. There's high risk because I really don't know if you're going to do a good job until after I hire you and sign that contract. So you want to sit down and truly map out a good sales process. Number 7, you want to launch at least one new product or service to your existing customers and even your prospects, I should say maybe to your list, at least once a quarter, ideally every other month. And you want to make sure that you're selling, when I say launching, selling products and services your customers actually want to buy, not just what you want to sell them. And by launching a new product or putting focus on it, and by launching, I mean you could be doing a heavy promotion around it, be it an online launch or a seminar webinars, or it could be just heavy direct mail telemarketing promotions to your existing customers. The reason you want to do that quarterly launch is for a lot of reasons. First off, I have never met a client where we haven't been able to go back into their existing customer base and find more sales opportunities. You just got to go get it, because the sales process doesn't happen where a prospect is going to call you up and say, hey, guess what? We got a pile of cash over here I don't really know what to do with. Would you happen to have anything you could sell me? So you've got to actually bring these products and services to your customers and sell it. Not just mention them once in a while, but go back and sell it. And sometimes a prospect will say no right now, but if you go back next month, next quarter, the timing is different, situation is different, and they're going to go ahead and say yes and buy it. Plus, doing these launches will help show your customers that you're on the cutting edge, that you're always bringing them new products and new services. And if you look at a lot of companies that are selling products and services in the marketplace and you pay attention, that's the reason they're constantly coming out with new product, because you don't want to just be selling the old stuff all the time, because your competition is going to come out with something newer and brighter and fresher and shinier. And that's why you also want to continue to launch new products and services to your customers. Number 8, you want to implement at least one stay in touch marketing communication that is relevant, that is interesting and entertaining to your customers and prospects. Now, whether that's a newsletter or an email blog or whatever it is, a combination of online and offline, which is what we do, and that's what I would recommend you do as well, it's not just about let's go find some articles and slap them on a piece of paper and mail that puppy out in a self-mailer because it's cheaper. I mean, that's not how you build relationships with people. That's like the husband who's driving home from work on Valentine's Day and suddenly realizes, oh geez, I forgot to get my wife something, and stops off at the CVS and gets a Whitman sampler and says, hey, here you go, honey, I love you so much, you're the love of my life, here's a Whitman sampler. If you're going to not put that kind of effort into building relationships with your customers, then you can't be surprised or I guess disappointed when they don't take your advice, when they don't buy, when they don't refer, when they don't stay loyal to you. So when you think about building this stay in touch marketing communication, put some thought into it. Think about what you want to communicate, how you're going to engage these people. Don't just look for fodder online that you can slap some articles together so you can get a 4-page newsletter out. You're missing the point. The point is to engage and connect with those customers. Number 9, make sure everyone on your staff knows how to handle a client complaint, how to look for opportunities, and how to sell. Marketing is not a department. So you got to make sure that the person answering the phone at the front desk, do they know about your products and services? Do they know how to handle a prospect call coming in? When your technicians go out to meet with clients, they might run across opportunities. They've got to know how to identify it, first of all, and see an opportunity, and then how to bring it back and handle it. Also, customer complaints, because it could be that you're getting a complaint from somebody and that call comes in or that email comes in, you might not ever see it and they might mishandle it. So you want to make sure you have a documented process and training frequently about how to handle upset customers, and on the other side of that, to look for opportunities within their existing customer base. Number 10, you want to develop at least 3 solid marketing oil wells that you can rely on to feed you quality new prospects on a monthly and ongoing basis. Now, the marketing oil well concept, I really kind of stole the phrase, I guess, from Dean Jackson, who's a friend of mine. He's actually coming this year's boot camp. And the concept is just a different approach to marketing. Most of you probably, when you think about marketing, you kind of think, well, should we do a postcard drop? Should we do some emails? Should we hire a telemarketer? And you just kind of think about these random acts of drive-by marketing. And my suggestion is you get out of that thought process and instead think about building marketing oil wells. And if you think about marketing campaigns in the terms of oil wells, you're gonna be able to build on success. You're gonna get more automation. You're gonna get better systems. You're gonna improve it. So I'll give you an example. We just recently ran a promotion at my office that we've been running for the last 4 years. And every single year we run it, it's the exact same promotion. We use the same emails, the same website, the same process. In fact, I don't even get involved with it. My staff just rolls it out because it's a documented process. And every single year, that campaign has brought in 6 figures, and I don't have to lift a finger. See, that is a marketing oil well, and that's what you want to build. You want to build the promotion so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time, whether it's Google AdWords, whether it's telemarketing, whether it's holding a seminar or a webinar or some other kind of promotion. Even your newsletter or your website could be a marketing oil well, meaning that you don't just do these one-off promotions, but you think about building a system and a process that is going to repeat itself and get better and improve over time. Number 11, you want to aggressively seek strategic partnerships with other non-competitive businesses and associations for the purposes of getting new clients. And what I mean by strategic partnerships is where you partner up with another non-competitive company or organization and you deliver some kind of value to their customers. And since you're non-competitive, they can refer business to you. For example, I have a client today that has brought in over $1 million in the last year, and all he's done is gone to other line of business application providers that are in his marketplace, serving his same customers. And he's done strategic partnerships with them because these line of business application vendors, they're not selling IT support services and cloud services and whatnot. They're selling software. And so they're non-competitive, but they're very closely aligned. He also aligns himself with companies that are selling phone systems but not IT support, web design companies that again are not selling IT support. They're doing web development, web design. And he does everything from just a straight up email, sending it out to their clients saying, hey, check this guy out, he does a fantastic job for IT support, and mention us and you'll get a free network health check or network assessment or IT optimization plan or something to that effect. Sometimes it's webinars and seminars where he will hold like a webinar on cloud computing, and the partners send out emails saying, hey, if you're thinking about moving your data and your IT systems to the cloud, you want to watch this webinar or go to this seminar, and that has been extremely effective and lucrative for him. And I have multiple examples of that in my client base of how my clients have been able to go to other associations or strategic partners and partner with them for promotional purposes to cross-sell and promote to their list, or even him promoting to their list as well. And number 12 is to do something. And the bottom line is nobody gets paid for good intentions. Nobody gets paid for I should be doing this. You only get paid when it gets done. And marketing, unfortunately, is probably one of those things that you hate doing. And so it gets pushed to the bottom of the list for things that you're more comfortable doing, that you enjoy doing more. And that's a mistake. So I think you've got to just pick something and focus on it and build it into a marketing oil well to make it really work. Whether that thing is Google AdWords or telemarketing or even canvassing or online marketing, whatever it is, do something. All right, so that concludes the 12 months of marketing. I have one other final piece of advice, and that is if you really want to master marketing, if you really want to make next year a stellar year, the year you finally draw a line in the sand and say we're gonna take our business to the next level, we're gonna implement a better marketing plan, then what you want to do is go to robinsbigseminar.com and register for our annual event. This year we anticipate about 600 or more people in attendance. These are your peers, and the entire conference is focused on one thing, and that is showing you how to get more customers, better quality customers, generate more profit, more sales, and more success in your business. It is not focused on the technical aspects of running your business, the operational side of running your business. There's plenty of other conferences you can go to for that. This is about making more money by getting more clients and better quality clients. And it is a game-changing experience, trust me. So go to robinsbigseminar.com. Right now we're running extreme early bird discounts and there's bonuses, and so now's a great time to go do that. So I hope you don't mind me sliding in a little crass commercial there, but it really will help you if you're serious about implementing this. If you really want to get these 12 months of marketing understood, then that's what you're going to want to do. So that concludes this video blog. By all means, please comment below the video any questions, any additional videos that you'd like to see me do. And I hope that you can come to Robin's Big Seminar, come to our event, join us, hang out with some really successful MSPs, IT business owners, and learn how to get more and better quality customers and make next year your best year ever.